Good morning and welcome. Glad to have you with us. January 7th, look what we got. Tuesday morning here. So I didn't work yesterday, and my buddy didn't work yesterday. So all the switches are all filled up with snow. We got about 7 inches of snow at the house. Looks like they got about the same here. Okay, so that's railroading in southwestern Pennsylvania in the winter. Yeah, they ran trains all day yesterday, so that was good. The one thing you don't want to do when you have a lot of snow coming, like we had over the last 2 days, you don't want those hopper cars sitting empty. You want them moving. Keep them loaded, emptied, loaded, emptied, because if that coal packs up in them hopper cars, it's a mess. And then you load coal on top of that snow, it's a real mess. We've had to deal with that in the past. Anyway, so here we go. All right. First thing I got to do is dig my truck out. All right. It's 23 degrees this morning too. It's going to be a cold week. Lovely. It'll take a while. But a good thing is they're dumping the cars on a regular, consistent basis, so coal's not freezing. And you know, even at 23 degrees out here, when that train comes down the track, that wind chill factor and that aluminum, so they sprayed it pretty good up there. I've got a video on my other channel there about spraying the cars, what we do to keep coal from freezing in the cars in the wintertime. So I'll put a link in this video's description so you can go watch that if you haven't seen it already. But I want to tell you something that you might not realize. Coal mining is a dangerous occupation. I know you all know that. Underground's a constant temperature, but when this kind of weather, they got big fans. They're pulling fresh air into the mine, and that air is this temperature out here. So you got that 23 degree air they're pulling down into the mine to ventilate it, and plus it's moving. I don't know how many cubic feet per minute they've got to have, but it's a good bit, and that creates quite a wind chill too for the guys underground. But one of the most dangerous jobs in this kind of weather, when you got snow and cold, is on them barges down there. You can imagine you've only got about a gunnel to walk down the barges. It's only 2 feet wide and snow covered. You got 8 inches of snow on them, and some of the barges got slopes on them. It gets really slippery. And then another big problem is if the lines they use to tie the barges together get froze, and they'll get froze solid. So that's a real problem with winter on the barges. But it is one of the most dangerous jobs at the coal mine in this kind of weather, is being on those barges. Believe me, I was on the barges for a lot of years. I know. You've got to have your head in the game all the time and walk slow. And then you got the hatch covers. They look down inside the gunnels for water. Sometimes they're cocked a little bit. Step on one of them in the snow, and it's Very dangerous job being on those barges. I'm so glad I'm not down there anymore. All right, I got more switches to clean. Wednesday morning here. Good morning. My buddy's cleaning the crossing off. We had a little bit of a difficult time yesterday with all the build-up stuff on the sides there. Did quite a bit of spinning in this truck trying to get through. Yesterday morning we got through, but get that all smoothed down there. Nice. Did a nice job. Train sitting down here. They've got one car that they're having a problem getting dumped. The mechanics are down there working on it. They've I think maybe a control valve or something on the car might be froze up or something, but they're working on that. Then the train's going back to the mine. I'm heading out. Guess I'm going to be by myself today because my buddy there's got to he's got some other stuff to clean up with the high lift today, I guess. All right. Well, here we go. We're riding track today. Thought I'd show you this up here. It always looks nice up here with the icicles. This is what they call 690 cut. The excavating contractor, when he built this track, had various cuts where they blasted the rock out. This is called 690 cut. For some reason, that's what they called it. But anyway, problem with riding rails like this is you can't see any of my bolts. All you can see is the tops of the rails. So all you can check for is pull aparts or broken rails. But that's what it's like when there's snow out. The train traffic does blow some of the snow away from the track. There's less snow in the track than on the sides, but still can't see very many of the bolts. About that. Pretty cool, huh? And so far this week, we've had very few problems, which is really, really good. They had that one car, they got it dumped down there. I don't know what was wrong. I said the mechanic was down there working on it. So other than that, they've been running trains pretty steady, and it's really, really good. Really, really good. We love to see coal moving. Ha-ha! Okay, I'm down here on the other side of the train. The train operator knows I'm down here, so he has orders not to come towards me unless he calls me first. But yeah, look what's going on up here. They had a chute was froze up there, so he didn't get started loading right away. So I gotta wait. Can't turn around, and that's a long ways to back down. So he won't be long because he doesn't have enough coal to load a whole train up here. I think he's got enough coal for 13 or 14 cars, and he's got about 5 of those cars loaded already. So that's where we're at now. All right, Winter Wonderland. Guess where I'm at? After work, dentist, root canal. Couldn't wait. Well, we're right here at the end of our tunnel over Interstate 79, and come up here this morning and had a bolt out right there. Look at that. Anyway, had a big gap in there. I had to put a drift pin in, pull it. But I wanted to tell you, I got the bolt in. This joint here, 3 years ago, pulled apart. I had a big gap, and it was like that. And it was a fairly warm day. It was like 50 degrees. Pulled apart, and used 19 cans of fire snake to try to get it to come together. That's the most I ever used. What a struggle that was. I was afraid to put the fire snake here in the tunnel with all the coal, I ended up getting my leaf blower and blowing as much coal away as I could. But anyway, I was glad to get that bolt. But back at that time, I wanted to tell you, had bolts. They filed bankruptcy. There's no money. Had bolts made in India. They got me Indian bolts, and so these bolts are 3 years old. Snapped right off, and we're on a concrete floor. There's no up and down movement at all in that joint. Anyway, cheap Indian bolts. All right. I've had pull aparts over here before. A couple years ago, we had another pull apart on this rail down in the tunnel. Got it together, and we actually put a piece of rail in here and lengthened it out, which was a very good thing to do. Welded it in up here. Please see what I got. But anyway, you know, they was saving a couple bucks back then. What, $5 or $10 for a bucket of bolts, and you see it just junk steel. I put a good USA made bolt in there today. After it gets warmed up here later on in the spring, I'm going to replace all those bolts in that joint. Today at it's 24 degrees, and 24 degrees is not a good day to be breaking joints apart all the way if you don't have to. So we'll be all right for now, but I will replace those bolts in the future. All right, they're running trains good today. Okay, gotta go. Well, good morning. Friday morning. Lovely morning, 11 degrees. And we're running coal. They're having a little bit of a problem with when they have the remote box and they're up there loading the train. They switch from one locomotive to the other while they're loading with that remote box. Having a bit of a problem switching over to 22, but hey, that's why we're moving coal. It's a lot better. Very few. This week has been almost uneventful from what it was last week, and we're happy to see that with this cold weather. Last week was chock full of problems, and they ran coal really good. That's one of the secrets of running coal in the winter time. You got to keep things moving. Shut the prep plant down, everything wants to freeze up. Shut this thing down, everything wants to freeze up. So keep moving, and that's really good to see. We're keep moving. Yeah. All right. Okay, hopefully we have an uneventful day for the rest of the day today too. Hopefully. We'll see. Cold weather railroad. Okay, that's much better. This is all plugged up. These grizzlies is all plugged up all the way through here. Big clumps. Then when that coal got no place to go, you're going to derail the car. So we got a bunch of it cleaned out. Still a little bit here, but it'll be a lot safer now. As long as that coal's got some place to go off the sides on the rail, we'll keep the car wheels on the rail. That coal ain't got no place to go. Like all it was all built up all the way out to here. Then rail. Okay. Thank goodness the coal's coming out nice. It's not sticking.
AJ, let me see your Pokemon.
Okay.
Let me see your Pokemon.
Thank goodness the coal's coming out. All right. Yeah, it was a whole lot worse before we started. But, train left, and this is what we're doing. I got this side pretty well cleaned off. These are beams right across here, so cold is going to build up on them. I can't do anything about that, but okay, cold weather railroad. Yeah, gotta do what you gotta do to keep the train running. Oh, here we go. We got the train dumped off with very few problems. A little bit of cold froze on some of the doors, but thank goodness we got that train dumped. He's backing up here. They've got a spray bar on the other side, and he's going to spray the train here, and then he'll also spray the train with the side release agent that they have. Okay. Oh, that's good to see that no problems dumping.
A little bit more, buddy, a little bit more.
Okay, wonderful. And we put air guard, it's a methanol, put that in
Hey, hold that also.
2 of the cars here.
Let that stuff soak in there for a couple seconds.
So there you go.
Okay, AJ, start back to you now.
All right. I think it's warmed up to about 15 degrees now. Okay, hopefully the rest of the day is uneventful also. And I want to thank you very much for tuning in and watching. Hope you've enjoyed today's show. He'll go out of here slow while they're spraying, so. All right. That's railroad. Cold weather railroad. There we go. There's a guy in there controlling that. On the other side of the cars, controlling that spray. Okay, wonderful. We'll see you next week.